All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. To kick us off this morning, we've been joined by several members of Hendrick Motorsports, Jeff Andrews, Alan Gustafson, and Josh Berry, who will pilot the number 9 Chevrolet this weekend. To start, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff.
Well, first, foremost, thanks for gathering here this morning, and just want to say that, on behalf of Mr. Hendrick, wants to make sure that everybody knows that our concern at this time is the health and well-being, first and foremost, of Chase Elliott. And I know there's a lot of questions about the injury and the timing and, where we're going with all that. We'll do our best, to answer a lot of that for you. We don't obviously have a lot of details with this being, a little bit less than 24 hours old for us now. But Chase did go through a successful surgery last night that lasted about 3 hours. He's doing well. The surgery was to repair a fractured tibia, and that's really the extent that we know. There is no timeline at this point in time. We would expect this obviously to be several weeks, but beyond that, I don't have a timeline to offer for you, and we'll obviously work with Chase and his doctors in the future to help determine that. But again, I just can't reiterate enough that for Mr. Hendrick and Hendrick Motorsports, the most important thing is Chase's health and his well-being, and we'll work with him on that timeline. We're going to race a long time together with Chase Elliott, and we're going to win a lot more races together. This certainly is a little bit setback, and obviously Chase is very disappointed. But again, I'm going to reiterate again, the most important thing is Chase's health, and we'll have a seat ready for him when he's healthy and ready to get back in our race car.
All right, so in the interest of time, we're going to go ahead and go to questions. If you can, please try to keep your question to one question, a quick follow-up. If you need additional questions, keep your hand raised, and I'll work to get back to as many as we can. To kick us off, I'm going to start with Jim and go to Bob.
Jim Utter, motorsport.com. Jeff, I just wondered you guys have had plans in the past. How did it work out to get Josh into the car in place of Chase? And is he a long-term solution, or as long as you need him type of solution?
Yeah, I think, given, unfortunately we've had some other situations, that we need to look at alternate drivers. And of course we look to our partners at JRM first. And I do want to give a shout out to Dale and Kelly and LW and everybody over there, Mike Bumgardner, who was very accommodating yesterday when we reached out to see if Josh would be available to drive today. The decision was made a lot about, Josh's driving style, and then of course the fit in the car, trying to find, someone close to Chase's size, given the timing and what we had to work with here and getting him fit in the car last night. Those were really the two main decisions around why we wanted to go with Josh.
Bob?
Bob Hockers, Fox Sports. Jeff, what are Hendrick's policies as far as what drivers can and can't do in their free time, and will this force you to or make you want to reevaluate any of those policies?
It won't force us to reevaluate any policies, Bob. I think, these guys have to go out and live a life, really outside of the racetrack, and certainly what Chase was doing was not anything abnormal for him. He's an experienced snowboarder. He's been doing it most of his life, and it was an accident. A similar injury could happen falling off a mountain bike or stepping off a curb while you're jogging, and it was an accident, and Chase feels awful about it, but our stance on it is just that. It was an accident, and our guys have to go out and live their life. Obviously, we've let these Alex and Kyle both drive sprint cars. Chase has been in, a midget at various times last year. So I don't anticipate a policy change at Hendrick Motorsports based around this.
All right, we're going to go to Claire and then to Jeff. Go ahead, Claire. Can I get a microphone right here? Thank you.
Claire Beeline, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Can you talk about what you think is fair when it comes to the playoffs and the waiver to request and how it might affect your effort in the next few weeks? You said it may take several weeks to get him back, but how do you look at the waiver or what you might need to do in the meantime?
Yeah, for us, we have gone through the formal process that NASCAR has in place of applying for the waiver. Again, this is, that happened a little over 12 hours ago, so I don't really know where that goes from there. We'll certainly let NASCAR go through their due process and respect their decision when they're ready to make one on how that decision gets made.
All right, Jeff?
Alan, what's your mindset now? How does this change the outlook for the team for this season going forward?
Yeah, I think our goals are still the same. Our objectives are the same. Certainly things have changed, but we want to compete at a high level and make the transition. Right now, my focus really is making the transition as easy for Josh as possible and trying to help him get acclimated to the car and feel comfortable and get into a position that he can use his talent and his ability to be successful. And I think moving forward past that, it's still the same goal to be as good as we possibly can when Chase gets back and win as many races as possible. And we're certainly still in the owner's points, and depending on how the waivers and all the rest of it go, certainly if Chase can come back and we can compete at a high level and win, we can be where we want to be with the driver's side too. So there's certainly a lot of challenges that come with this, but I think we all can learn and grow and find ways to improve and be ready to go when the playoffs come around. So.
All right, we're going to take a quick follow-up from Bob and then to Lee, and then we'll come up front here.
Bob Pockers, Fox Sports. Jeff, can you say, is he still in the hospital in Colorado? And then does he, assuming he was treated in Colorado, that's where the accident happened, is he still in the hospital there? And then is the plan for him to go back to Georgia or to North Carolina for rehab?
Yeah, what we know, I'll just talk about the facts, as a lot of this obviously is, kind of Chase's personal situation. I don't really want to get into that, but, he did go through a successful surgery last night that went very well. We know that recovery is going very well, and the expectation is that he would be released sometime this morning.
All right, Lee, go ahead.
Josh, just talk about the opportunity. I mean, I know this isn't the way you wanted to get in an A-list car, but after driving 2 races for Spire last year, this is like a night and day situation. Gives you an opportunity to showcase your talent.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, obviously, we're thinking about Chase and want him. This is his ride and his opportunity, and I'm just thankful for these guys, Mr. Hendrick, everybody at Hendrick Motorsports. Thought of me to come fill in for him in this moment. I mean, without a doubt, it's going to be a great challenge for me. But a great challenge comes great opportunity for me to learn and grow as a driver and work around a lot of really talented and smart people here at Hendrick Motorsports. So we're just taking it one lap at a time, one day at a time. Just gonna try to. I think our expectations are we don't really have any expectations at this point, right? We're gonna try to get to this practice and qualifying. I'm gonna race my Xfinity car, and then we'll meet some more and talk about it, make a plan for tomorrow. But it's definitely a great honor to drive for Hendrick Motorsports, and regardless of the situation, so I'm gonna try to do the best I can for these guys.
All right, go ahead.
Mark Anderson, AP. Josh, what was your initial reaction when you got the word, and to the fact that you've had success here, does that help as far as making the transition?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot happened really fast, man. I just can't. It's just crazy how quick something like that can happen. But yeah, the fact that I've won here twice in the Xfinity car definitely makes it a lot easier. I'm going to be learning a new car here in an hour or so. So at least having some success at the track, I think that definitely gave me some confidence, some more confidence in what I'm doing. So it's just it's been a wild couple of days. You never know what could happen, I guess, when you wake up.
All right, we're going to go Kelly and Claire. Go ahead. Microphone to Kelly, please. Right here.
Kelly Crandall, Racer.com. Alan, can you walk us through all the changes that had to be made and how long it took the team to get everything swapped over?
Yeah, it's the interiors are super intricate and everybody's got a different body type. So we went through a lot of the processes. Josh's bucket is the same as Alex, is different from Chase's. We went through trying to kind of get those to work out and had some issue with that. And Yeah, it's. I mean, I could probably sit here for 2 hours and explain to you all the detail. That would be really boring for you, but it's not an easy thing to do, and certainly I think we got Josh into a safe situation, which is first and foremost our concern with the interior. Secondly, a fairly comfortable situation, but he needs to get on the track and run and see how he feels, and we'll certainly make some adjustments from there. But yeah, that transitions, that's always a difficult thing. With Chase, obviously we've had years and years and years to refine the interior package, his seat, leg braces, headrests, etc. for him, and we had to kind of just do the best we can to get it into a suitable position for Josh, which I feel good about.
All right, Claire.
Claire Belang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Thank you for the follow-up. Jeff, I know you mentioned it earlier a little bit, but can you talk a little more about how Chase is feeling, not hurting, but in his head? How does he feel? What is the conversation with him? We were riding up on the elevator today. Most of what I heard was like, can you even imagine being Chase Elliott waking up this morning and how he feels? Can you kind of tell us?
Yeah, I think, we all know Chase, and, he cares an awful lot about his race team and Mr. Hendrick, and, I think at the top of his mind, he's worried and concerned that he let, first and foremost, Mr. Hendrick down and his race team down, and, text with him this morning, he was, asking how late his guys had to work and things like that, just, on the swap over. So, that's just pretty typical Chase Elliott. He's a great kid, got a huge heart, and, can only imagine how hard this. He's worried about how hard it is on us, and we're worried about how hard it is on him. So, again, first and foremost, let's get him better, and we'll get him back in his seat as soon as he's ready and his doctors say so.
All right, Jeff.
Josh, forgive my ignorance here, but I don't recall. Do you have any experience driving a next gen at all?
Yeah, well, in about an hour. No, I mean, it's, obviously, like I said, these guys, we've already worked some. I mean, we know it's going to be a challenge, but kind of reiterate, like I said before, I mean, at least I've been here, one here. That'll help the growing pains a little bit, but, obviously the car's a lot different. But, these guys, they have some great tools to look at and things to prepare for, and, I'm just going to try not to overthink it. And like I said, just take it a lap at a time and, just try to run all the laps and be there at the end of the race tomorrow.
All right, we're going to take 2 follow-ups. We'll go to Kelly for a follow-up, and we'll end with Bob.
KellyCrandallRacer.com. Josh, going back to what you said about this opportunity, how do you balance the focus of racing for wins in a championship in the Xfinity Series and trying to do the job here and show yourself well, but it also being a car that you have, as you just said, no experience in, so you'll be learning it in the process?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just have to look at it. It's like I said, it's going to be a great challenge, like I said before, but that comes a lot of opportunity in there as well. So, we're going to race. I don't think we've talked. I mean, I don't think we have a lot of expectations for how this is going to go. Obviously my focus is winning an Xfinity Series championship this year, but to get this opportunity to get some experience in a Cup car is great for me. I mean, I obviously want to be in the Cup Series one day. So you never know what could happen. I mean, we're just trying to be realistic, and as for this, I'll be available for these guys whenever they need me, and if hopefully I can do a good job for them.
All right, Bob, go ahead.
Bob Parker's Fox Sports. Josh, have you texted or called and talked with Chase at all? And if so, can you tell us anything about those conversations?
Yeah, he shot me a text and just thanked me for helping out, and I thanked him for thinking of me and considering me for this fill-in position. So, like I said, Chase has been a good friend to me over the years. I mean, even dating back to when I would make a couple Xfinity starts years ago at Junior Motorsports. He was always one of the first ones to help me whenever I needed it, and so, like I said, I'm thankful for these guys to give me this opportunity, and obviously wish him well, and going forward, like I said, I'll do whatever these guys need me, and we'll take it from there.